With me, as always, is Sage.
What's going on, man? Yo, I love our Sundays, bro. Like I tell you, I was so drained today because of the ant farm.
Mm-hmm.
That I was like, man, I'm gonna go knock out. The minute my brother's one that reminded me. He was like, hey, we got a show today. I was like, oh, today's Coin Sunday. I
Let's
was like, I
go.
gotta, I gotta flip it today. Hell yeah! Like it's just the best. It's the best time, bro. Like honestly, like whenever we get our studio and shit like that, I want us to have a wishing well in the middle of our studio. And every time we start the show, we gotta flip a coin.
Okay. That sounds actually pretty cool.
Right?
What is it gonna mean? Like, do we just like wish for 10 more viewers, and then like if we get it, it's just
Yeah.
at the
We
end.
tell
It's all
everybody. We be like, everybody make a wish into the wishing well, and then we'll be like, our wish is, and then we'll pick a wish. We could get 10 more subscribers. We could get $1. Like, yo, somebody donate us a fucking dollar in this bitch, bro.
or we could all flip. We could flip it when we're live. Everybody just uh, makes a prayer, wish, or whatever their feelings are, their
Facts.
subscription to a higher power, and then when the motherfucker fills up, we donate it to charity. Now I
What
vote
charity?
to donate it to some sort of anti-circumcision group, but it's still on the table.
Ha!
Okay,
Yo, the Stoners Alliance Foundation.
we can do
Definitely
that.
need it.
Yeah, but right before we got on, I felt I agree with you. It just gets like an energy going. I love these shows as we progress, and we're talking about. Well, I said, maybe John Jones is in the wrong cage right now. When you
Yeah, what were we saying before that? Oh my god.
so Sage looked up. I didn't even know that John Jones was still in custody. The UFC fighter, some people's goat, and we're Sage just made a great point of fighters going to jail and people being in jail and boxing and boxers going to jail and learning from them and prison and how they get better and how there's some prisoners who have entered the pro fighting or amateur fighting and won fights. And Sage proceeded to list off like some of the greatest of all time.
Yo, I'll say it like Iron Mike Tyson, bro. Like my dude, like nobody could sit here and tell me like, and I'm not gonna say like I'm a big boxing fan. Like I love my heavyweights, I love my boxers, and I'm a big Hawkins fan. I'm a big, Boricua. Like I actually know a champion in my church. I'm not gonna say his name because he literally told me not to, but I actually know an actual uh boxer, champion, federal for Puerto Rico, and he's mad dope. And Tito Trinidad was my first. He was actually the first boxer I ever saw. And after that, I got into boxing. I started watching videos, and there's not a thing. I don't know. You just can't tell me like, yo, this heavyweight guy is better than Mike Tyson. I don't think so, bro. I don't even think so, bro. Like honestly, bro, like like Ali and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe because Ali is just a different beast, But like Tyson, yeah, man, that's like the best, bro. And you look at his record, bro. He was in Brownsville. He was doing time. Like he had that, and it's all training. It's all like what do people do in prison? They work out
And they read.
and they read. What do you think a boxer is gonna do in prison? I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna train. Yo, and he's Mike Tyson. Yo, bro, can I spar with you? Yeah, but I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
You know, like it's like, bro, it's crazy. So then like, we were talking about MMA fighters. We were talking about John Jones. We were talking about how now he's still in prison, and it was just a joke. I didn't even know he was still in prison, but he is. He's still in prison. And I was like, yo, why you think John Jones is in prison right now? He's probably training. He's probably like, yo, fuck all these uh, big time trainers. They suck. I want to go to prison. I got my dude Aki over there. He's doing life. He'll get me right. And
And he
boom.
wants to move up to heavyweight, so he's got to come with the head movement. He's got to learn different styles, be versatile. He's got to go and learn. That's all it
Nobody
is.
It's all these things, and it's something like, and it's the industry now. The fighting industry is trying to get a lot cleaner, but we have to understand, like, back in the day where it was bare knuckle boxing, you know, where it was wrist fisticuffs. I'll take it all the way back to that. Like, it was a
Hmm.
sport. It'll take it back to way before that, back to the gladiator games, back in fucking the ancient times. Like, it's savage, and to be the best, you got to be a savage. You got to learn that savage way. Like, all this crazy high-tech stuff is all cool and stuff like that. Like, that's why, like, honestly, it just hit me. Like, I love Rocky 4. Like, like that montage where he's like, that when he's in fucking Russia, fucking doing all that crazy shit, and then you see the fucking Russian dude getting all this crazy ass high-tech shit. This nigga's just lifting up fucking wagons of fucking logs, all that shit, bro. I love that shit because it shows, like, bro, you don't need all that. You don't need a gym. You don't need all these machines, bro. Like, I know people that were the craziest bodies, bro. Like, I look at all these. Like, I look at The Rock and stuff like that, bro. Like, if The Rock was to go down to the Bronx, bro, in the hood, bro, he would probably be like top 10. Like, he'll probably be like 9. There's just people that just work out, like, lift themselves up in the fucking street lights and all that shit. Like, it's just what they do. So, like, if you put that in the ring with a Floyd Mayweather, it's like different. It's like, bro, Floyd's gonna get chewed out, bro. Like, that's why, honestly, when Floyd fought De La Hoya, I swore I thought De La Hoya was gonna fuck him up. And I'm mad that De La Hoya lost. Even though, literally, if y'all watch that fight, at the end, you saw De La Hoya giving him that shit, though. He was fucking rocking his ass, and he felt
Well,
that shit.
I think, yeah, when you come to the end and you're experiencing anything, I think you just find that next gear because you have to. But you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so, like, now, like, the industry now, like I was telling Coin off mic, the industry now is all about trying to make everybody clean. Everything's clean now. Basketball players are clean. Fighters are now clean. Who's a fighter that has a record? Or who's a boxer now that has a crazy record that's in the top chain? Probably nobody. Cause
Tyson
that
Fury. Oh, wait,
oh,
all time?
yeah, like, like the mics and stuff like that. The Ali.
Fury's getting there, but yeah, yeah, you're right. There's not. I don't think there's anyone besides. I mean, it was Floyd. Canelo's getting up there, but he's still got a ways to go.
I forgot about Canelo. That's my guy.
But he's lost too. So
It's like, like, honestly, like, that undefeated record. That shit don't mean nothing to me, bro. Like, honestly, I feel like what Mike said was true. Rocky Marciano lost after he got that. He was 51-1. Then after that, he never lost again, and he fought for like he did like 72 other matches. So, like, honestly, like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not about, I don't know. Like, Floyd makes it like it's a gimmick, bro. Like, this, I'm the best boxer, undefeated, all that shit. Like, it's a gimmick, bro. Like, I don't know, but Floyd doesn't fight real fighters at the real time.
yeah, I get the undefeated. It's not like a prerequisite,
Yeah,
but
like
at the same
Ali was.
time, it's something to add on to the
Yeah,
legacy, right?
Ali wasn't undefeated, bro. And I bet you put Ali in his prime in the box with Floyd, and it's not gonna rock out the same way. Mike wasn't undefeated. Hawkins wasn't undefeated, but I think Floyd beat Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken. Tim, look, check that out. Do you know if Bernard Hawkins fought Floyd?
I'm not that big of a boxing fan. I'm definitely a casual when it comes to that.
Yeah, but, like, like, all this stuff, like, it's so, like, they want clean. Like, even now, like, this football thing. How many players now, bro, get into these bad things and they lose their contracts and all these endorsements and shit like that for the smallest thing? Like, Tiger Woods lost all of his endorsements because he went to Vegas and fucked hookers. What you go to Vegas for, he got in trouble with. Like, it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like, everything's trying to be nice and clean. Like, and we was talking about before, like, how MMA, like, everybody now is trying to learn MMA and all that stuff, and that's cool. Like, learning how to fight is very important, but I want to learn the way of fighting, not just learning how to fight. Like, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn the way. I don't want to learn how to smoke. I want to learn the way of smoking, which is why I'm a sage. You know, like it's learning these things and putting it into your life. You know, like all these martial artists are all great people. And you put them to regular day work, they're fucking phenomenal. Why? Because what they learn in their
Discipline.
yeah, they have the discipline that's unbound. You know, like I look up these videos of these monks, bro. I like kids, bro,
Yeah.
training. Bro, these kids are doing
Walking
like,
on their fucking 2 fingers and one
bro,
hand, just like
taking their one leg, bro, and they have to literally put it over up like this on a fucking log, and they gotta keep it there for hours and hours and hours. And I'm like, what the fuck? That is insane.
it's literal turtle style Master Roshi training. You remember when the original Dragon Ball, when Goku and Krillin were just like digging, like plowing fields with their fucking bare hands and
Yep.
delivering milk, getting chased by dinosaurs? I mean, that's not realistic, but you know, it's just crazy amounts of stress and disciplining the mind. And that's what, like, Mike Tyson, you just were talking about how they can succeed in other realms in life. Tyson was like studying Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan as a fucking boxer. These were
Yep.
people that killed thousands, if not millions, of people for actual war. And he was approaching it with the same mindset.
Yep.
That's another level of intensity
It's
that
like,
maybe you're right, nobody today has.
yeah, like, and it's like, why not have that mindset? You know, like, and that's like something now, like, if you tell kids now, like, oh, I'm a boxer, and be like Alexander the Great. Oh, you sound so corny. He wasn't even a boxer. What do you mean? Nigga, why not? Why not have that mindset that Alexander the Great, Genghis Khan, Julius Caesar, all these great fucking leaders, George Washington, like, bro, we keep even bring it up, you know, like, bro, that great fucking Japanese general that Dan brings up all the time. Nah, not like fucking Biden. Fuck Biden. That dude is like, nah. But take that, bro. Like read, like like I love it when fucking like Will Smith, right? Will Smith is just an actor, right? And you'll sit down and you'll hear how he does all these great fucking things, and he'll be like, "Yo, I read this book. I read, War, which is still a book that I want to read more and more and more." Like because like I feel like once you read that, I feel like honestly, once I read that book, I'm gonna like open up. I'm gonna have hockey automatically. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the red pill. I'm out of the matrix. Like I can't wait to read that fucking book. But I feel like I'm not mentally there yet. Like even reading is hard for me. But like they do all this reading and they do so great, and we're like, oh wow, Will Smith is such a wise guy. Yeah, that's the same guy in Independence Day that yelled at a dead alien. like yo this is the same dude in I Am Legend that he had a crush on a mannequin, and he shot his best friend mannequin Fred. Okay, like this is that guy. Like like it's that same mindset. He was probably going up going, yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they're probably like, yo, Will, you sound mad dumb, why would you do that? And now he's this crazy icon. You should take that into anything you do, no matter what. Like potting, uh working, like even me working at fucking the ant farm. Like I'm doing basic shit, but apparently I'm rock starring it, all this crazy stuff. And it's like, oh my God, how do you catch on so quickly? And you're just so fucking fast. Like, you're brand new. And I'm just like, I just have good work ethic. I'm learning. Like, I do it exactly how I pod. If I'm in it, I'm in it. I'm not gonna half-ass it. I'm not gonna BS it. I'm not gonna bitch. I'm not gonna be like, I don't want to be here. Like all these little fucking kids that I hear every fucking day when I'm fucking there complain. It's like, nah, I'm here. I'm gonna make my $108 a day, and I'm gonna go home.
You got it down to the fucking cent, I bet. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. The work ethic, and also, I was thinking like, what's that? There's a quote from somebody where they were talking about everybody's has the potential to be a genius, but if you judge an elephant by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to think it's
Yep.
stupid its whole life. So something to that effect.
Yep. That's what Einstein said. Einstein was like, everybody has the potential to be a genius, but if you judge a genius, if you judge a fish,
A fish, yeah.
yeah, to be a genius by climbing a tree, then he will be a moron for the rest of his life.
So when you teach people like to think instead of how to think, and we've talked about this in way back months ago about standardized testing and things like that. I think you're seeing that come into the workforce. You're seeing these kids that they don't know. They have to be told exactly how to do something because that's how they've been taught their entire lives. Is instruction after instruction, step by step, as opposed to watch me do this. Can you kind of comprehend what I'm doing? And then you go and do it, and then you kind of connect the dots, and you're like, oh, okay. And then kind of like riding a bike.
Yep.
You were taught how to ride a bike, but you had to learn it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So when that's another great quote. It's like if you can't fully explain something, you haven't learned it yourself. So I think you're getting a lot of that in the workforce. Sorry to go off tangent from you, but I was just trying to
you're perfect.
compare what you were saying to the workforce now.
To even connect what you're saying and to finally get a coincidentally perfect segue going, it's exactly what Dave Chappelle was. It's exactly what his last special was. I think it was the closer. The closer. I think that's the
closer.
Yeah, it's that whole thing was all about don't let people tell you, hey, this guy's a bad guy. Learn. Do it yourself. Figure it out. Everybody, and I love that special, and we're gonna deep dive into it crazy today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That special was so great because it's a lot of my VOP transitioning. When I first came into the VOP, I hated Trump. I hated the right. I was like, I was a little left, I guess. I was a left dude. I believed in Obama was the dream and all that other shit. And then I started being the VOP, and then Dan started telling me, like, yo, just look at this. Look at this. Don't listen to the noise. But just look at this. Come back to me and tell me what you see. I bet. And it's not clips. He's not dumb. He will send me whole fucking things. If Trump went there and talked for 2 hours, I heard that shit for 2 fucking hours. I didn't just hear the shit where he was like, I heard the whole shit,
Mm-hmm.
And I did that with that. I did it with the Black Lives Matter. I did it with the January 6th. I did it with this. I did it with that. And I started realizing, like, oh shit, Trump really isn't he's an ass, but he's really not the Hitler that everybody's saying he is. Oh, with Black Lives Matter, of course I stand I stand against racism and corporate racism and social racism and any form of prejudice that's in this world. But at the end of the day, do I stand with the propaganda that's going around it? Nah, I really don't, because I feel like it's becoming too gimmicky now. And it's and there's people that sat there and told me, like, we should be gimmicky. It's all right. And it's like, nah, bro, I feel you. But it's not really about that. It's about the message, not the gimmick. It's about the message, right, not the money. It's about the job. We're sitting here and we're doing the job. And the best example that we have about that is the VOP. The VOP could have been rich fucking way before either of us came in. Way before half of the people that are in it now. Maybe even
I was in middle school when this shit started.
Yeah, it could have been fucking outstanding way before, back in 2010 and 11. But Dan realized, like, yo, there's a mission and there's an
integrity.
Yeah, there's integrity. There's what I'm trying to do. And, oh, no, I want to do this. And I remember that story that Dave Chappelle said about that black slave that got free. And he had his own plantation. And then he started having his own. He started getting his own slaves.
Yeah.
That's what I think about the Black Lives Matter movement, It's like you got big, got your own land, and now...
Bought 4 fucking $250,000 houses for your family. Yeah.
And now you're just abusing. Now you're just bullying. Now you're becoming the monster to everybody. And it's not just Black Lives Matter. I don't want people to think you're just talking about them. Nah,
Right.
it's a
This
lot
is this
of
is
fucking.
going on for any fucking facetious group that operates under the guise of benevolence.
Yeah, it's like, it's more about like if you standing here doing this shit for a reason, then you should be until you become fucking Hokage, that shit doesn't stop. Like I love that shit. Naruto got mad strong. He never skipped to be a tuning. He never skipped to be a joning. He never just after the Great Ninja War. I'm getting mad nerdy here, but it's really true. Like after the Great Ninja War, he didn't just become Hokage. Nah, he had to learn it. He had to learn. He had to earn it. He had to do so that when he sits at that top of the mountain, when he's there.
And they always have that bullshit scene where they're all got miles high of fucking papers and files like on their
Yeah,
desk and shit. I'm like, you got shadow clones, dude. Just fucking do that.
yeah, figure it out. But like, and it's so wild how a lot of these companies start off great, and like even now, like I hear all these great startups, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wait about 10 years. Let's see how you guys act in 10 years, because I'm done being I was a great supporter until you guys changed. Nah, if you guys are still the same in 10 years, bet I'll invest. Other than that, and I say that to you, I say that for people that want to invest in me. Give me 10 years. Give me a time limit till you think that I'm serious. Do that for everybody. The audio is great, bro.
Okay. You're kind of cutting out for me, but I got storms around me, so I'm cutting in and out of connection. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that everybody could hear.
Yeah, you sound perfect. You don't sound cutting out at all. James, do I sound good?
Yeah, but I think it's just on my screen. That's why, and nobody said anything about you in the chat. So I was like, well, maybe it's just my reception of you. But to get back to what you were saying
Yeah,
with the Chappelle special,
yeah,
not only was it had a message to it. Chappelle's not a he's a comedic genius. Um, and I struggled with it because before I talked with it with a couple people, and we were talking about is he a genius or is he just really prolific in comedy? And after the special, I watched it last night, and I can now say he's a genius because he called it the closer. He mentioned he was closing out on talking about anything transgender, LGBTQ, until we can laugh about this shit together. That's all he said. Now, did he joke about it? Yes. Did people get offended by it? Yeah. But guess what? It's fucking comedy. And he had a great message in there, but he used the tools that he knew how to fucking use. What are your thoughts on now this is just the baseline right here and then like you said we're going to deep dive into this, but the world of comedy, does it deserve its own recognition secular from everything else because it is such a free environment because laughter is involuntary. You either do or you don't. And if somebody can make you laugh and make light of a situation, isn't that a good thing? Because they're not up there running for office or making litigation and legislation for the masses of people. This is a time to have fun and to make light of things. What are your thoughts on comedy, and does it deserve its own separate recognition?
I think, man, it's so crazy because like over the past 5 years, my answer on this has changed so much. Like I remember I used to always say like comedy is comedy. You can't. But I feel like honestly you can't. The biggest problem that we have with comedy now is that we're trying to do what we just talked about with the sports thing. We're trying to make everything clean, you know? And we're trying to put everything in a nice neat box so that when we sell it to other countries, it's neat, it's perfect, it's great, right? It's a multi-million dollar business. But the thing about comedy is that comedy has no range. I mean, comedy has range, has infinite range. something that's not funny to Coin could be definitely funny to me. Something that's not funny to me or Coin could be funny to James. Like that's how comedy works, you know? Comedy is such a different world. It's a different realm in itself, you know? Like there should definitely be warnings when you get into comedies. Like, like I remember back in the day, comedy used to be rated R. You wouldn't take kids to go see a comedy thing. Back in the 70s and 80s, comedy used to be in vinyls and cassette
Like
tape.
Carlin and Pryor, like holy shit.
Yeah.
Red Fox, you listen to one of those, you're like I remember being a kid and like just stumbling upon YouTube videos, just
Yep.
exploring of these old comics. And I'm like, whoa, this is not the comedy that my mom lets me watch.
But it's so different and it's like cool. And that's what and it was raw, it was raunchy, it was great, and the worst thing that we did was make it televised. The minute you make anything televised, it makes it you have to clean it. So honestly, I feel like saying that now it would suck because if you take away the televised comedy, you would lose a lot of money and all this stuff is. But if we was to ever move on from this, I feel like everybody has to understand that comedy is comedy. If comedy is not for you, then you should move on. There's different genres of comedy. It's like it's like me telling someone, yo, you watch anime? Like, nah, I watch Naruto and I hated it, so I hate all anime. That's just one genre of anime. If you don't like Dave Chappelle, but you think Kevin Hart is fucking hilarious, that's perfectly fine. Then you're into comedy. There's people that like this dude named Bill, not Bill Burr. It's this young dude named Bill. He does comedy on his YouTube thing, right? He does like skit comedy, and he does it like now he does shows. He does stand up skit comedy, and it's pretty whack to me. Like to me, it's like, all right, it would be cool if it was like a scene in a show and I could see it going, but it's like I get your concept, but to me, it doesn't make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like when I
So
watch The
what do you
Roach,
do? So
you
what do you
know.
do when you're done seeing that and that first impression, maybe second impression, third impression, whatever it is? What do you do personally after you didn't like it?
I watch it. If it's really trash, like that Asian woman, Wong, I don't think she's funny. I think that nail shit was mad funny. But everything else, I don't think it's funny. And then when she was doing comedy as pregnant, it was kind of weird for me. I was like, I don't think you should be standing for this long. Like you should be laying down. Like she was like squatting and shit. Like it was like like it's like her. I've never finished a special of hers. Like I get to like half, and I'm like, all right, I can't watch this, and I'll turn it off. And then I won't go on. I won't tag her Ali Wong on me. You fucking suck. I'm like nah, it's just not my thing. I won't even put a thumbs down. I just don't care. Like it's not my thing. Guess what? The best thing about streaming services is I can turn it off whenever I want. I didn't waste $8 because I have a whole thousands and millions of shit to watch. So it's like it's not a big thing. But like if it's like my comedy thing has like levels. Like if you're funny but you're just not funny to me, I'll watch it because it's entertaining. I'm like, all right, let me see where this goes. Because even if you're not funny to me, but if you're funny, I'll let you know. Like, yo, yes, like, yo, this dude is pretty funny. I don't think he's funny, but he's pretty funny. Like, Gary Owen. Gary Owen, I'm really not a big fan
Great
of him.
comy. Yeah.
He's a great comic, and I love his podcast even more. But there's a lot of specials that I watch, and I'm like, it's not really funny. It doesn't make me laugh. But I tell people, yo, you should watch Gary Owen. Gary Owen's fucking crazy. He's a funny ass dude. Oh, is he funny to you? Sometimes. So like when he's on the Breakfast Club, I think he's hilarious. I'm like, oh shit, this dude is fucking crazy. Why isn't he like this? Really? I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just different. I don't know. So to me, I'll watch it. I'm a good fan. Like I'm a good person. Like I would just be like, yo, you should watch it. It's not that funny. Like I won't be like, yeah. Like I'm trying to think of someone that said I'm thinking of a comic said a Puerto Rican joke once. It was like dumb. And I wasn't like offended.
Mark Normand? Yeah, I mean, he talks about all races, but it sounds dumb, but that's his style.
Like it
But
was,
yeah. So if someone makes a Puerto Rican joke, do you get on your fucking high horse soapbox
nah.
and start trying to cancel this person?
Never at all. Like it's not even that serious. Like it's like, oh shit, like that was a way. Like to me, I'd be like, yo, I could have said a way funnier Puerto Rican joke. Like me and my brother say way funnier Puerto Rican jokes on a daily basis. Like it's like, bro, you could have. That was really whack. Like, bro, like that's the shit too. Like if you're gonna bring up, like I guess that's my thing too. If you're gonna bring up my category, you know, that shit better be funny. Like it better be like, yeah, that's true. You know, like I feel that shit. It's like, yeah. If it's not, it's like, yeah, that was whack. I'm not gonna cancel you. I'm gonna be like, he's a fucking racist. Nah, because comedy is open reign. Everybody gets it in comedy. Like I remember when I was a kid and when we used to do stand up comedy, aka cutting ass on the fucking audience. That was all we did. Everybody got it. Everybody laughed. You know, it was great. You know, we'll definitely like what we used to do back in the day. We'll shit on one person, and the nigga that laughs the hardest will shit on him. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like
Like, what the
other,
fuck are you laughing at?
yeah, what the fuck you laughing at, you big doofy ass nigga? Like, you know, we'll start shitting on him and shit, and it was great. Everybody, you know, it was all nobody fought at 3 o'clock. Nobody,
So,
no,
sorry. Go on.
no go.
So, what you're saying is when you're making jokes about everybody and the intent is there because that's what I'm you can't really prove intent, but you can read an intent. You can get a good gauge of it, right? I care way more about that than I'm a big intent over content guy because what you said didn't have the intent behind it. The intention was to make people laugh and make everybody laugh and be inclusive. And that's where you just described everybody making fun of each other, roasting each other as kids, and you would get it piled on you. And guess what, when you're getting that as a kid, it makes you fucking funnier because you have to be. you
Yeah,
have to you have to clap back at whoever said something about you,
yep,
whatever it is. Now, if it's competitive as it got, it never really got too far because it was inclusive and it was all for fun most of the time. Sometimes it did get ugly, but if it's inclusive, I think that's what Chappelle was trying to do with this closer special. Is say, hey, you can be made fun of too. I'm I'm not. He would even like preface his jokes. Like you remember the impossible pussy joke?
yeah,
I mean, he would preface it with, "I don't think that a transgendered female is not a woman, but you know." And then everybody started laughing because he knew where he was going, and he called it impossible pussy. And he said it's not the same thing. It's just lighthearted humor with a factual basis, but he's not putting anybody down. So I don't understand how he can write it and go about that way in such an inclusive way and still get so many criticisms from a number of sources with, you know, these short-haired chicks with red glasses. And that was kind of mean, but it's truthful.
I just hate in these comedy specials, right? Like if you watch the whole comedy thing, you know he's not transphobic. You obviously know. Like transphobic, that's the thing too. Like I say, like these big ass labels that we're giving people. Like be careful what you call people. Son, that's a dangerous thing. Calling someone homophobic, calling like, yo, you don't know if they're homophobic, bro. You could get that poor guy shot all because you think he's homophobic, and then you go, oh no, he's not homophobic, he's just saying this, and then even then they won't even admit it. They go, yeah, well, he should have never said that. It's what he gets. And that's how this society is now. Whenever we feel like we're hurt and we're, oh, now we have to get justice. That's not justice, bro. That's not fair. Like, please, everybody, understand that when you talk about justice, it comes from the root word of just. All right, and that's just not a word that you add to your sentence. All right, the word just, it means fair, it means right. And the fair is no, and when you mean fair, because I know some people are like, well, what do you identify as fair? Fair is the most vague thing in the world because it goes to anybody, bro. If I give Coin my vape because I broke his, to me that's fair. To others, it's like, nah, bro, you gotta buy him a whole new one. Nah, it's fair. I'm giving him a vape. I broke his vape. You know? But to him, he's like, yo, it would be fair and a lot like conversations, people. That's mainly it. Conversations. Have conversations with fucking people. Don't just assume that Dave Chappelle's a racist. Talk to Dave Chappelle, just like his late friend did. And she understood him. And because of that woman, because she got attacked by her own community, she hated that shit. And that shit irks me. It irks me honestly. I'm actually gonna go in my bag a little bit. My fault. I'm gonna take over for like 10 to 15 minutes.
You're good. You're good.
So like my biggest problem, right? And you know, and they pick and choose who gets to have this problem. You know, right now it's the blacks. You know, no one could tell no one. No one could tell a black person if they're black. How dare you? I fought for this. I did this. Right? But you shouldn't tell nobody that they're not nobody just because they don't fit your criteria. About 2 days ago in the ant farm, no, yesterday actually, in the ant farm, I had this Spanish woman call me a gringo. So for a lot of y'all that don't know what the real meaning means, a lot of people think the word gringo means, oh, that person's just white.
No, that's Blanco.
You know,
I know my shit. Yeah.
gringo is what Spanish people call other Spanish people that aren't Spanish. And when you go to Puerto Rico, and if you're a gringo like me, you're gonna fight. You're gonna be harassed because you're a gringo, and that's not cool.
So gringo is like the other C word for black people.
Yep.
I actually just learned that. I thought it just meant like outsider.
Yeah, it's like
See, we're learning stuff on COIN-cidentally, baby.
Yeah, and I hate that's
Sorry,
a real
keep going.
disrespectful term. Like I had fights when I was a kid for people calling me gringo because literally my parents put it into me like anybody calls you a gringo, you punch them in the fucking face. You let them know that you ain't no fucking gringo. And you know, and this lady called me a gringo, and her little Spanish friend started laughing, and I had a black on everybody. I had to let everybody in that whole bitch know who the fuck the sage is. And you know, and shit, and the tension was wild, and I had to let them know, like, yo, that shit is wild, and I'm bringing it here because it's a big ass problem. You know, like the minute I saw that Dave Chappelle special, I thought of that situation. I was like, wow, that's insane, crazy. Like if I was that woman being called a gringo, that shit could have hurt me. I could have killed myself or anything. But thank God I'm a real ass nigga, and that shit don't really bother me. And I just got irked, and I wanted to fight, but I couldn't fight because she was a girl. And I'm like, yo, you know what? And I just walked. I aired off. I talked to my little honey, you know, and she cooled me down. And it's crazy. You have no right. I don't care what color your skin. I don't care if you grew up in the fucking in the motherlands, bro. I don't care if you've been gay. You don't care if you've been trans for all your years. You know what it is to be it. You have no right to tell anybody else and what the fuck they are, bro. It's just not. It's just not what it is, bro. And honestly, that's how I feel about the transgender stuff. If you want to be a woman, bro, who the hell am I to tell you that you're not a woman? Bet, bro, you want to be a woman? I want to be Iron Man. And people think I'm joking when I say that. I legit want to be Iron Man. One of my biggest things I want to do is spend a big big chunk of my fortune on literally creating arc reactor tech and having an Iron Man suit. That's like my goal.
For like no fucking reason. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, beat up fucking robbers? Like, we don't have. Go beat up the Rothschilds if you do that. Yeah, just go beat up the bankers, and then like go in and just be like the Robin Hood Iron Man at the Federal Reserve.
And I'm gonna start seeing what the fuck is really up. And if there's real beef, nigga, we're gonna have beef. If there's not, I'm gonna tell American troops, nigga, y'all niggas gotta go home. It's gonna be a problem. All right, y'all better start watching me. the CIA niggas. Because once I get that arc reactor tech, it's over. I'm gonna be Iron Man. I'm gonna be sitting there. I'm gonna do everything Tony Stark did in all the movies and the comics, except the alcoholism.
And then they're gonna hack your suit and send you into a fucking building.
Probably, right? They're gonna fucking hack my suit. Some fucking dude in China is gonna hack my suit and make me
No, it'll be somebody American with a lot of money, and they'll blame it on China.
Some massive Minecraft user that knows how to hack. He's gonna hack into my suit. Watch. You know, like, yo, that's just like, but jokes aside, like, this is literally like,
Yeah.
you know, like, whoever you are, whatever your thing is, you have no right to ever judge anybody. You know, if Dave Chappelle had a Puerto Rican joke and people like he's Puerto Rican, he's racist against Puerto Ricans and all that other shit, and if I sit there and go, nah, bro, he's not, y'all don't understand, and my Puerto Rican, I don't even think the Puerto Ricans have a community on Twitter, but if Puerto Rican Twitter drags me,
I'm sure you could find it.
yeah, I'm sure. You know, if Puerto Rican Twitter drags me, that shit's gonna be sad and it'll be fucked up. And I will let them know, like, yo, fuck y'all niggas, bro. Y'all not the only Puerto Rican people here. This is like a big problem of what I feel like this is a big problem of what anarchist people have with their governments. Where it's more of a, I get it, you're trying to keep us safe, but now you're literally controlling and taking away my free will and all of my rights, and that's just not okay. We can be whoever the hell we want to be. I have a great nephew, bro, on my mom's side that literally thinks that he's in a fucking Sonic game. He does the theme songs when he's walking, and like when one day he was in the car and his mom shut him up. And he literally powered down. He was like, doo-doo-doo-doo. Like, he thinks he's Sonic. He runs around, all that shit. And I'd be like, all right, Sonic, you go do you, buddy. Like, that's it. It doesn't, who cares? Like, who cares if you're trans? Who cares if Dave Chappelle hates trans people? Who cares if this person does it? Who the fuck cares, bro?
Well, that's one thing that I think I can dispel is I don't think he hates anyone. I've heard on multiple accounts that people have went to a show and he got too drunk and he started saying transphobic shit. And I asked, what did he say? They said, well, I wasn't there. It was a friend of mine. Okay. Then I see the special. And it seems more like an olive branch than it is just hate speech. And when you're talking about a stand-up comedian to the caliber of Dave Chappelle, who has spread so much love and joy through his humor, I just don't think that you can equate anything that he says to hate. And then if you can't call it hate, then what is it? I think it's just dialogue. I think it's humorous dialogue. He's getting the conversation going because he is a prolific guy. Like I said, the structure that he does it in through comedy is what makes him a genius to me.
Yeah.
He's not hating anyone. And anyone that even disagrees with him and tries to get him canceled, and they're even calling Netflix to pull the special. It's so ridiculous to me because this, and I might be assuming here, but fuck it. I don't care. This is our show. We can do what we want. Where were these people when they were canceling and deleting my friends and people that I followed on these social media apps that were stating factual things? Some of them strongly opinionated, sure, but they were only stating factual things on these social media apps like Twitter and Instagram. And then they'd get deleted and get told, why don't you go make your own social media app? They're a private company. They can do what they want. Where's that same energy for Netflix when they're keeping it up, making the fucking millions? Why don't you make your own Netflix? Why don't you buy against Netflix instead of against Dave Chappelle? And quit worrying about something so lighthearted as comedy, dude. If you're getting your factual information from a comedian, you need to reevaluate your life because you're not getting anything from a comedian that's going to give you any substance. It's entertainment only.
Yep, 100%. And it's a big thing. And I always say this, like, where are the like everybody like I see people on Facebook, like my friends or like my acquaintances and stuff like that. Oh, fuck this, fuck that, fuck Dave Chappelle, fuck Kevin Hart. They say this and they say that, but then they have friends. We have mutual friends who say worse homophobic shit, and they like it, or they love it, or they put the laughing reaction, or they don't even say anything. And I'm like, yo, why don't you instead of you saying that shit to a big ass fucking person that you're never gonna fucking meet, that doesn't fucking care about you, why don't you go knock on your neighbor's door? Why don't you go tell him like, yo, cut all that transphobic shit, you fucking dummy, and really be about the shit that you're trying to be about. Like this is like that's the shit that irks me. Cause like me, I'm about it. If you say something wrong, whether you're a friend, a celebrity, or whatever, I'm gonna tell you you're fucking wrong.
Address it right then and there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all about the smoke. Because if we're gonna be about this correcting thing, then we're gonna correct everybody, not just the people that we see on TV. Who the fuck cares about Joe Rogan saying that video games waste people's time? I don't care about Joe Rogan. I didn't get into video games because of Joe Rogan. And that shit doesn't change my life. I'm still gonna watch his podcast. I still think he's funny as shit. Like it doesn't change anything. He just thinks that, and that's cool. He's also a guy that's like a 10th degree black belt and has like a fucking world award winning kick, spinning fucking kick. Like cool, Joe, not a problem. Whatever, like it doesn't matter, bro. But why does it when somebody that says it, then somebody that you know that says it, you're like, oh, shut up. You don't know. Why don't you go give him that same canceled energy? That's why all this is fake. It's all
because
fake.
You can't do it. If somebody fucking loves what they do, like a Rogan or a Chappelle or whoever, and they're coming from a genuine place of love, I'll even say it's from love, because comedy to me and getting information out, they love what they do.
Yeah.
And they're unapologetic in it, but they're also willing. I think they both apologize for shit before in the past, just for, maybe I fucked up doing that, but like Chappelle, I think on one of his specials, said he apologized for being fucked up during a show, and he gave the audience, it was one of the first ones. I think it was the Live in Texas or something, but still, like these guys will admit when they're wrong. So when they don't think they're wrong, and you keep pressing, they don't give a fuck because they know themselves and they know their intentions, which is what I was saying earlier, the intent behind what they're saying. It's not for any other reason but entertainment and also for dialogue. So when you refuse to have the dialogue with them and you just want to cancel them and censor them, you have now become the fascist.
And it's a big ass fight. And I love what Dave Chappelle said. He was like, everybody started dragging me on Twitter, but I don't care because Twitter is not a real place. And I was like, exactly. None of this shit is real.
Yeah.
None of this matters, people. Twitter doesn't matter. When Facebook was offline and Instagram and WhatsApp and all that shit, it didn't affect me at all. Why? Because it's not a real place. I wasn't like, all you idiots, oh my God, Facebook is down. First, I really thought it was my phone. And then I checked online. And honestly, I didn't even check online. I literally went on Twitter. I was like, yo, if Twitter is fucking up, then it's my phone. And then it wasn't, and I was like, all right, it's Facebook. All right, bet. I get a Facebook break today. Perfect. Like, it's not a real place. This shit doesn't matter, bro. Haps doesn't matter, bro. These little fucking people that give us these little fake-ass fucking bot viewers and shit like that, these little motherfuckers that just sit there and don't comment, they don't fucking matter.
You all matter listening right now if you are real.
Yeah, if you're real, you fucking matter. I mean, if you're real, you don't comment. You should fucking comment, you piece of shit. The fuck
Had
you
to
doing
save
just
that one.
watching us?
Whew.
The hell, you ghouls? But it's like, yo, all that other stuff. The Haps doesn't put me on the top thing. Podbean is not giving me money. Pod this and that. Twitch. Oh,
Podbean.
Twitch, Discord. This none of that shit matters, bro. No, it's not real. It's not real. You could make your own Discord, bro. I get mad when I be on video chat with like three of my niggas or on FaceTime or like in a group audio call. They're like, "Yo, let's get on Discord." Nigga, we on the Discord right now.
Yeah.
Nigga, what we're having right now is a discourse. Nigga, like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
we are having Discord right now. Or
nigga, this shit
Discord.
is so weird. It's like mad funny. It's like, oh, Xbox app. You could get on a party on your phone. And nigga, I could do that already. I could call all my friends on my phone right now, and we could all play video games together in a private party. Like, what are you doing? Like, none of this stuff is real. None of this stuff matters. You already have 89% of all the shit that the internet is selling to you. And on all the rest of the shit, you just gotta put a little bit of virtual elbow grease, and you can probably do it. That's it. Oh, but there we go. We're breaking the world now. None of this shit matters. What do you mean? Social media doesn't matter? How could you say that? That's how I talk to my family. You know, like I don't know. Bro.
Like you just said, like, yeah, 89-90% of it, I would say, doesn't fucking matter. You can use it for a small percentage to communicate with people, sure. But most of the time, and I've been that fucking guy, addicted to Twitter, I was like, oh, I'm going to go viral with this fucking tweet. And then, slowly but surely you grow up, you turn 23, whatever it was when I realized this shit was stupid. Mm-hmm. And I just full blown deleted it because I wanted to go viral for attention. I thought I was making funny tweets just for, and I would do them just for fun, but I would get mad. I was like, why are people engaging with this? And I would like even make up excuses in my head, like, well, maybe they have jobs and they can't, attach this to their account. But then I was like, that's bullshit. No, that might be true, but you want to do this, but why? And then that's when I realized it was for attention. I would rather have, now that I've grown up a little bit, not all the way, but a little bit, I'd rather have the attention of people around me that matter.
Yep.
Instead of fucking strangers. Now, if I'm building a business or like we're trying to build this up, yeah, I want people's engagement here. I want to hear from people. I want, different topics being thrown out, shit like that. But that's a useful tool right there. That's not bullshit. That's not going on TikTok and scrolling through 4 of the same people just duetting on there, I think is what it's called now.
Yeah. It's so dumb. It's like, and this is the world that we live in now. We have to care about this. What does Twitter say about the world? What does Twitter say about Dave Chappelle? What does Facebook say? What does Instagram? What does Snapchat? TikTok?
What does the headline say?
Yeah. Too? Yeah, like that's the thing. And it's like, bro, what do you say? So I tell everybody, like everybody I talk to, all these little kids that talk to me about stuff like that. Yeah, I heard on Twitter. I'd be like, yo, what do you say? And 9 out of 10 times, their reply is, "What do you mean?" And I swear, I want to laugh in their face, but I don't want to be disrespectful.
What do you mean? I was told what to think about Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, like what do you
mean? That's what I think about him.
I mean, like, bro, what do you think about this? Like, oh, what do you like? Today, one of the young kids was like, oh, I heard he was like, oh, I heard Afghanistan is really fucked up. I was like, what do you think about Afghanistan? What do you think about what's going on? He's like, I heard about Twitter that this and that is going on. I was like, okay, but what do you think about what's going on? He was like, what do you mean? I don't get it. I was like, you told me what Stephen Colbert said. You told me what Charlemagne the God said. You told me but what's your consensus on all the stuff that you just gathered? And he was like, oh shit, I never thought about it like that. And I was like, that's second thought process. That's what you do. You just don't stop at getting the milk. You drink the shit. You just don't buy the milk and then you go, yeah, this milk is the best. Yeah, but what do you think? Oh, the carton says it's the best milk. No, you drink the milk. You tell me what you think about the milk. If it's bad, now I know. Okay, you told me it's bad. Now I'm gonna try it. Now I know that's what you think. That's second thought. You take all your little things with, that's what I do. I take what Joe Rogan's. I take this. I take my own research. I get all my research together. I put all the little data,
And then
and I go,
form an
hey,
opinion.
yeah, and I form my own opinion. This is what I think. This is what I'm seeing. This is my point of view. But nobody has that. Nobody has a point of view no more. They now have the view. They have the only view, and that's not true. It's not just one side. The world is big as fuck, and I swear to God, it's not by a coincidence. There's so many different sides, so many shit that you don't see, so many things that you don't understand. Second thought process, people. That's sage way for you.
Well, and I'll say it, it's been said time and time again by other people, but I'm kind of past the point of not reusing terms because there's a lot of people that need to hear this still. They might not be listening now. Everyone listening right now might know this, but there are a lot of people that fucking just regurgitate, like you said, the Stephen Colbert's, even the Joe Rogans, the
Yeah.
whatevers, because maybe their brain hasn't formed properly. And I mean that chronologically, like maybe they're really young. Or, maybe they got caught up in the system of being told what to think. And that's what we got to stray away from, like Sage said. Form your own opinion, get a second opinion, get a third opinion, have the conversation. And yeah, that's one of the most positive things I think we can promote.
100%, bro. That was like a great finishing word that you just did there.
Yeah, we're coming up on the hour mark. We didn't get to debate about anything, but at the same time, I think we we had our hands full with what we were talking about.
100%.
We will try to incorporate that more. It's just a matter of getting me and Sage to disagree. Hard fucking thing to do. But yeah, man, any last words? Like I said, promote yourself as much as you want, promote everything, VOP, whatever you want right now.
Sageway. Oh, before I say Sageway. Shout out to the VOP, man. Shout out to the radio. Shout out to Dan, still scalping those Royal Rumble tickets in Brazil. He's doing good. He's hanging out. The network. Shout out to everybody there, except for the people that I don't fuck with. Sageway. You already know what time it is. I should be doing another video for Sageway Pod on tomorrow or definitely Tuesday. With that, guys, check out the Engaging Sage Facebook page, Sage Misfit on Instagram. I think it's Misfit Sage on Twitter, but the name is Messages in a Bottle, which people hate, but it's just a thing. So understand it and move on. In November, no, on the 15th of November, I will be doing a crossover show with the group podcast, with the group Chat Co podcast. Really, really dope dude. Shout out to my man King Rob and his little band of misfits over there, man, doing their thing. I'm pretty hype. We're gonna get into it a little bit. I'm pretty excited. This is a dude I've known since high school, bro. Like, literally, when I think of Rob, I think of when we used to be in the yearbook committee, and he used to give me his back when X-Men versus Avengers, the comic book issues were coming out every week, and every week he used to buy them, and he knew I was a big comic book head, so he used to give me, like, he used to let me read it for the whole school day. Like, yo, bro, you can read it, hold on to it. At the end of the day, I'll give it back to him. And that's what I remember about Rob, man. He was just a cool dude, man, from the way back. I'm probably gonna try to bring the champ with me. I'm gonna see. I'm pretty sure he's off on that day, so we're gonna have a little bit of the Misfit gang hanging out there. It's gonna be dope as shit. Other than that, I really have nothing else to say other than just peace and vibes, man. Just don't judge, don't punch down. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say what Dave Chappelle said. Just don't punch down on nobody. You and no. I always say, like, even though me, I'm mad tall. Like, I'm a little person compared to the world. And everyone else is too. So always punch straight, never punch down, and sage way all the way.
Beautiful. Follow at COIN-cidentally or at COINCIDENTAL69 if you want to be grammatically correct, or would that be verbally correct? Whatever. And at Coin with 569s on Instagram too. Building that page up. Got a couple memes coming. Just at my leisure, but it's working. And yeah, like he said, VOP, VOPUSARadio.com. Got the app now in the Android store. Go listen. Check out all the shows on here. They're all great. You doing a roundtable this upcoming week?
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, roundtable Tuesday afternoon sometime. And
yeah, roundtable at 9 p.m. Don't every day, every Tuesday 9 p.m. guys.
9 p.m. Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, man, just don't be a sheep. I know it's as vague as I could put it, but form your own opinion. And thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.